I'm Ricky Carroll and I shape surfboards for a living. I do my own RC brand surfboards and also shape locomotion surfboards from Hawaii. What we're doing here today is a shaping demo where we bring this trailer out to the surf shops that sell our boards, and we actually shape a surfboard right here in their parking lot and show the customers what goes into making a board. A lot of times we do this as a tour where we'll go for a week straight and just hit all the surf shops on the East Coast. Over the past years it's been really difficult to do, so now we've broken it down to where right now we're doing here at Surf the Earth in Pawleys Island, and we'll be down at McKedlin's in Folly Beach tomorrow. But it's a lot, you know, it's a hand-shaped item. That's where people don't realize how a board comes from a square block like this or a blank and gets turned into that fine-tuned machine that they ride. And it's all done with hand tools, planers and sanders, and we'll shape it through start to finish right there in front of them, and they get to appreciate all the hard work that goes into making a board. A lot of the planing is done with planer. This planer here is an Hitachi that Clark Foam, one of the biggest foam producers in the world, basically has modified to make it cut differently, to be adjustable for us to shape this foam with. 90% of the board is shaped with the planer. And then I have another planer which is just a smaller version of it, and I use this with the grit drum as opposed to the blades on the bottom. And what that does is makes a finer cut. It's almost like an electric sanding block, so I can do a lot more fine tuning with this planer as opposed to doing all the fine tuning with a standard sanding block. And the boards are finished out with a sanding block. We go into some finer screen and we use different pads with screen on them to really fine tune the surface of the foam to make it to where it's ready to glass. Over the years I've shaped over 30,000 surfboards. I've been shaping for almost 30 years, and I do well over 1,000 boards a year. I got started shaping in '73 when I was 13 years old. I found an old longboard on the beach and took it home and stripped all the glass off of it and shaped a board for myself. I had seen somebody shape a board, so I had an idea what was going on with that, but I did it out of necessity. My brother and I shared a board my mom bought at a garage sale for $10, and I was just learning how to surf and really wanted to get out there more. So when I saw that old board, I said I could take that and make a little board out of it, and that's what I did. Particular trade show, they've had these competitions, and they've called it the Shape Off, and they invited shapers from California and the East Coast and Hawaii to come and replicate a board. And what they did was, the first year they honored Mike Diffenderfer, and so we had to all shape a board, the exact same board, and copy this Mike Diffenderfer model. And I was up against shapers like Terry Martin, who shaped for Hobie since back in the 60s, and Jim Phillips, who's an East Coast shaper who's moved over to California and now shapes over there. Tim Fairs and Mark Andrini were the other shapers that I shaped against, and all well-respected shapers in the industry have been shaping a long time, and I was pretty much the young guy of the group, and coming from the East Coast, wasn't expected to win the competition, but that's exactly what I did first year. So I got invited back the next year, and we had to replicate a Bill Castor surfboard, and I won it the second year in a row. And that's pretty much shows the first time wasn't a fluke. Best way to get in touch with me or find me is my website, and that's www.rickycarrollsurfboards.com. You'll see on there not only my surfboards, but the factory that I own in Florida. We glass boards for 10 different big name labels. We glass boards for Donald Takayama, Dale Velzy, Surfboards Hawaii, Pat Rawson, Hawaiian Style, Chris Birch, Locomotion, just to name a few. And so all of those boards are made at the R&D Surfboard Factory, which I own, and it's the largest surfboard factory on the East Coast.